How to charge high as a freelancer or any business person. Listen, this has been working for me, and over the past few months my earnings has stepped up. At first I used to charge prices which now I charge double, and this is a simple secret. One of the easiest ways to be able to charge high is the way you communicate with your client. So I have an instance of, because most of the time I get like someone referring a client to me on WhatsApp. It's always very difficult to interact with such people if you are not an expert, because you know, local people, when you meet someone locally, especially when it has to do with referral, someone might contact you and said, hello, my bro sends me to do this. The person is trying to speak in a language, like trying to give you some kind of put you some kind of empathy or sympathy, or I don't know how to call it, for you to like trying to feel with that person, so that at the end the person will want you to give a discount. That is what happens to many people that work off freelancing platforms, because there's no fixed price that is showing as a tagline. People tend to belittle what you offer, and that is why a desperate freelancer, or maybe someone who doesn't have so many clients, you feel like you need to give so much discount, 20, 40, 60% before they will have to buy from you. That's not it. I'm going to be sharing with you some of the things that I have been using personally to be able to step up and to be able to charge high as a freelancer. I did not actually script this video, but I think that if you're watching this video up to this point, it's going to be very, very helpful for you, especially if you are running anything that has to do with business online. So the first thing I'm going to be talking about is friends and family. Listen, these are the most notorious set of people that you can work with as clients. In some cases, there are exceptional cases. You might have your brother or your sister that you work with. When I talk of family, I mean people that, if you're, I don't know how the Western side has to actually handle this, but I'm talking on based on my own perspective. I'm a Cameroonian in Africa. Most of the time you might have a cousin, an aunt, or some kind of a nephew. Yes, so the person needs your service, and when the person wants to contact you, the person starts speaking in your mother tongue. Like the person just the fact that someone who has not called you for long tries to call you, and the person starts speaking in the mother tongue. This is what happened. The person is trying to like remind you of some kind of relationship, but the way you have to answer to this person is in a business perspective. So if the person is calling you at that time and trying to talk about the service that he or she needs, you need to answer as if you are in your office. You understand? So most of the time what I do personally is getting the kind of way like that's crazy works. So when somebody calls me like that and starts speaking in that language, some kind of very way, I respond to you in good English, like standard, kind of making you know that, listen man, we're talking business here. So when that person explains that, if the person is very serious about what he or she needs, to continue the discussion, and most of the time they will tend to escape from it, because when they start speaking in that language and you continue discussing with them, they are going to have some kind of feeling that you just develop automatically, and they will now say, please bro, just help me, I just want to do this, I'm going to give you the money. After that is where another worry always come. After, don't accept, you will lose your value and you will not make any money. Another person will say, I'm going to give you this and I'll give you, see, don't accept your business. This is what I do. So I just respond to you in good English and you explain what you need. I tell you, okay, these are the requirements I'm going to need. I'm going to do this. You have any samples of what you need, of what you want? Like this, the person sends the samples and this. I say, okay, I've understood what you want, and I'm sure that I can be able to handle this for you. So can we talk about the pricing? The person says yes. I say, okay, I charge this amount of money for this. I send you some kind of a I don't know, an invoice, something, I don't know how I call it, but I tell you I charge this amount. I don't say please. I'm talking of an African setting. I don't know how you are watching this video anyway in the world. You just know how you apply it. So I charge this amount of money. Understand? So when you tell somebody that you charge this amount of money, you are setting a standard, making a person to know that is the standard price. But when you start saying that you are going to give me 5k, the person can easily tell you that, bro, I have only 3k. No, but when you tell somebody that this is the amount you charge for this, I charge 6,000 francs for this. This has worked for me so perfectly. The person understands that it is very standard. That's the standard price. And another thing that you can say is, I charge 6,000 francs for if you are designing a flyer. Most of the case, I say I charge 6,000 francs for a professional flyer like this. I'm going to put in my, okay, this is how he puts it. I charge 6,000 francs for a professional flyer like this. I'm going to do unlimited revisions and I'm going to give you exactly what you want. And delivery is going to be in this length of time. It's very important as a professional, you need to do that. Sometimes I say my delivery is in 10 hours maximum. It depends on the kind of, some of them in 2 hours, in 3 hours. I tell you that this is what I charge. Your delivery is going to be in this time. Can I proceed? The person, in most cases, if the person is very serious, the person can plead on a discount. That's when you understand now that okay, this person is really focused on one. And maximum, personally, I don't give more than 20%. But I don't, except that I'd better do it for free. You understand? Because when you begin to give more than that percentage, you devalue yourself. You understand? Especially for some particular type of people, they start feeling like what you are doing is very easy. You understand? There's no need to be explaining to somebody that I use these tools, the tools are very expensive, I use this. No, that is your job. Even if you use 15 minutes to do it, it's your job. That's what you charge for it, and you are doing something professional. And before you start saying that, make sure you have mastered that skill set very well. It's very, very important. If you don't have that skill set, if you don't know it, because personally, when I'm talking of web design, I'm talking of graphic design, doing all this kind of stuff. So I want to talk to someone like the one I'm talking to you. I know that it's something that I've understood it well and I know it. So if I charge this amount, I'm giving you a professional service. I know that I'm going to give you the best design in it and you're going to be happy with it. So the only way you can keep this client is if you charge high, make sure that the output is okay. Most of the time when I deliver to a client, this is what I do. I know that I've done the best. This design is super perfect. It has no errors. When I send it to you, I still ask you, is it okay? Are you fine with it? It's very, very important because especially for someone who is meeting you at the first time, it helps that person to understand that definitely you care about what you're doing. You're not just doing about him, especially when the person has already done the payment. You care about the person's output. You don't just care about the money. And most of the cases, try to give the person an option. This is what I notice here in Cameroon, particularly where I'm working. Many people, especially these local businesses, they always want their output based on their competitors' output. You might see someone with a very shabby flyer, not really looking good, and you come and give me that as a sample. When I take it and I refine it to give you something that is standard and updated, the person begins to feel like it's no good. It is your place as you doing the job to explain to that person and give the person the reason why that is the best and that is standard. It's very, very important. I've won a lot of clients with that. That's why over the past few months, I used to advertise on my WhatsApp status. It's been long that I did that because I get clients through referrals a lot, but I'm going to go back to doing it because it's also very important to showcase your skills. But I showcased it for some time. I did professional work, and therefore the people who I did this work for, they started recommending me to other people, and that's how I was able to grow. And I believe that in a week or two, I have, without doing any advert, I get at least a single double or two clients. That's how I was able to do it. And another thing that you need to do to charge high is the way you present your work. I'm using a very good example, like on WhatsApp. When people contact me for the first time, I don't use voice notes to reply. Personally, when somebody always look at me like, it's like, because when you do some kind of services, when especially very good, they expect you to see a very big kind of person that has done this. And when they come and see you on the first sight and they see some kind of pity, they just see one small. So when you speak to your voice, they'll just feel like, can this person really do what I want? So what I do is I give you I reply to you in professional, giving a message, so that after I've done work, and I even tend to use a voice note to explain to you, especially when I really want you to understand something. That, man, this boy be small, but he know what he doing. See me? Yeah. So that's it. That's another way that you can do to charge high. I do not actually script this video. I just feel like I should share it with anyone. And if you have further questions, I'm going to put, before I upload this video, I'm going to put some information in the description. And it's very important that you read it. And if at some point you enjoy this video, I'm going to really appreciate if you give this video a like and turn notifications, because this is the third video on our episode on Just Talk. So every time when I just feel like to say something, I just say it, so that it might help somebody, because I feel like it's very important that you learn how to charge high, especially as a freelancer or somebody who is working online, because a lot of people feel like it's not discounts. I used to do that. I lost a lot doing that. I feel like maybe if I just do something very cheap, the person is going to come back. No, I discovered the more I did it cheap, that was the more they wanted it cheap, and I was just downgrade myself. So I had to stop. Sometimes when someone brings you a service, if you are not available to do it, learn to say no, like the 30 girls, these 30 girls in our secondary school that learn to say no, this stuff. Learn to say no to clients. It's not all the time that you must work. Personally, as a college student, at times I'm always like super busy, like really schoolwork and stuff like that. Somebody contacts you at that time, tell the person that, please, I cannot do this now. I really wish I could do it, but on this day I'm going to be free. If you can extend it to that day, I'm going to do it for you. But if not, please get someone else to do it. I will see you in the next one. They're professionally and simple like that. It's going to save you a lot. Instead of taking it and stocking it and not delivering, man, you killing yourself. You killing yourself. So that also helps to make the person know that you're not really desperate about it. You are desperate about giving the person. It just works. It works like that. So I really wish I could show you my phone, like show you some kind of charts, because out of internet, out of freelancing platforms like Fiverr, Upwork, I get a lot of clients on WhatsApp, like a lot of clients on WhatsApp through referrals. I don't know if you know about WhatsApp series. I used to do that. One thing I also did was another strategy I did was when I was starting with freelancing. This is also a tip that's very important. When I was starting, what I do is I go to WhatsApp TVs, or I don't know, WhatsApp TVs. You can go to Facebook groups. This is what I post. Hello, what's up, guys? Or I can just post a pay for an advert of that WhatsApp TV and say, I'm giving free flyer designs to anybody who needs it. If you need a retouch or stuff like that, you get to me. I'm going to get about maybe 5-10 people from, depending on the group. I just try to target. I say I can go to this group today, this week, go to this place, and then these people are going to contact me and say they want to get a free flyer. They want me to do this for them, and that's the opportunities to prove yourself that you're an expert. Feel me? So you do the work for them. That time when you are free, just do it for free. Do something very professional. That person is going to be so happy, and it's going to save your contact. The next time the person will need something like that, or someone else will need something like that, they don't need to remind that person. They will definitely get back to you, right? So I also have a lot of clients that are getting back to me currently just from that. That's a strategy you can use to build and grow out of freelancing platforms. So I'm just going to end this video here. I don't want to go above 15 minutes talking to you, but if you enjoy this video, I appreciate a like, and most importantly, a comment. Like, if you see, wait, you just tell me why it's not comments on this, or why will you watch a video and not like the video? Just tell me. If there's any reason why I made this video in such a way that you don't like it, just tell me in the comment section. You understand? And if you forgot to like the video, why should you even forget when I'm filming? My name is Siri, and this is WC. Ciao.